My name is Mary Catherine Blackwood. I am 18 years old and I live with my sister Constance. I have often thought that with any luck at all, I could have been born a werewolf, because the two middle fingers on both my hands are the same length, but I have had to be content with what I had. I dislike washing myself and dogs and noise. I like my sister Constance and Richard Plangerton and Amnitophilarius, the death cap mushroom. Everyone else in my family is dead. The last time I glanced at the library books on the kitchen shelf, they were more than 5 months overdue, and I wondered whether I would have chosen differently had I known that these were the last books, the ones which would stand forever on our kitchen shelf. We rarely moved things. The Blackwoods were never much of a family for restlessness and stirring. We dealt with the small surface transient objects, the books and the flowers and the spoons, but underneath we had always a solid foundation of stable possessions. We always put things back where they belonged. We dusted and swept under tables and chairs and beds and pictures and rugs and lamps, but we left them where they were. The tortoise-shell toilet set on our mother's dressing table was never off place by so much as a fraction of an inch. Blackwoods had always lived in our house and kept their things in order. As soon as a new Blackwood wife moved in, a place was found for her belongings, and so our house was built up with layers of Blackwood property, weighing it and keeping it steady against the world. It was on a Friday in late April, and I brought the library books into our house. Fridays and Tuesdays were terrible days. Because I had to go into the village, someone had to go to the library and the grocery. Constance never went past her own garden, and Uncle Julian could not. Therefore, it was not pride that took me into the village twice a week, or even stubbornness, but only the simple need for books and food. It may have been pride that brought me into Stella's for a cup of coffee before I started home. I told myself it was pride and would not avoid going into Stella's no matter how much I wanted to be at home, but I knew too that Stella would see me pass if I did not go in and perhaps think I was afraid, and that thought I could not endure. They saw me at once, and I thought of them rotting away and curling in pain and crying out loud. I wanted them doubled up and crying on the ground in front of me. "Mary Cat," they called. "Mary Cat, Mary Cat," and moved all together to stand in a line by the fence. I wondered if their parents taught them, Jim, Donnell, and Dunham, and Dirty Harris leading regular drills for their children, teaching them with loving care, making sure they pitched their voices right. How else could so many children learn so thoroughly? "Mary Cat," said Connie, "would you like a cup of tea?" "Oh, no," said Mary Cat, "you'll poison me." "Mary Cat," said Connie, "would you like to go to sleep? Down in the boneyard, 10 feet deep."